Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Kiefer Sutherland.
To all distinguished guests in this hall, I cannot even begin to tell you how profoundly proud and privileged I feel to be here with you on this historic occasion that marks this timely start to a dialogue that is incredibly important on gender equality. We have a phenomenal opportunity to create history in the 21st century by shifting the paradigm of how we approach this issue. This is no longer about women or men. This is about women and men working together to craft a shared vision of human progress for all. For me personally, the idea that we have this extraordinary opportunity to impact all of humanity by addressing one single societal issue is both humbling and empowering. And to know that this is achievable by simply bringing together women and men, in other words, one half of humanity to support the other half of humanity, to me is truly inspiring. I had the good fortune growing up to be surrounded by empowering women. My mother was an extraordinary woman who always stood up against inequalities. But as I grew older, I became painfully aware of the victimization of women around the world. And now, as a proud father of two remarkable and confident young women, I have to be honest, I've had difficulty understanding why too many instances being simply born a girl means not having the opportunity to realize your life's full potential. And the reason I've had difficulty with this is because splitting our society's potential in half doesn't make sense. Despite many years of promoting gender equality, the issue remains one of the most persistent human rights violations of our time. Behind the staggering data on the gender gap, there is a human story to be told. A story about how women and girls around the world continue to bear the brunt of poverty and in too many instances remain the unwilling victims of violence. I certainly don't think we can truly progress as humanity until we address these inequities and put women on an equal footing with men. It is time, I believe, also believe that it is time for men to recognize gender equality not as a woman's issue, but as a societal issue that affects all of us. And that achievement will not just simply liberate women, it will also liberate men from prescribed social roles and gender stereotypes. I believe that the women in our lives and society in general expect this of us, and that it is our responsibility to do so. As men, we are faced with a choice that we must make, either by decision or default. These choices state and start with us as individuals, in how we treat the women and girls in our lives and those around us. As men, we can choose to stand up as advocates and agents of change in creating a better world for the women in our lives and ultimately our families and communities. Or we can default to the path of complacency, leading to stalled and potentially reverse progress over the next decades. This is not the path future generations will thank us for taking. Our children will rightly say that we have failed them, that we missed a unique opportunity to advance humanity in the 21st century. The HeForShe solidarity movement for gender equality has set the ambitious goal of mobilizing 1 billion men to stand up, to speak up, to take action in ending the persisting inequities facing women and girls around the world today. I recently heard of an inspiring story from a friend who was originally from Zimbabwe about a remarkable man in her own village who, after hearing about the HeForShe solidarity movement, he immediately understood that he had an opportunity to transform the relationships within his own community. This courageous man went around his village recruiting all the men who were abusive to their wives. He then started a husband school, and he made it his personal mission to re-educate these men and transform them into good husbands and good fathers. And this story exemplifies the power we all have as individuals, and that societal progress comes down to individual actions. As we all know, it is people who create movements, and it is these movements that have the power to create transformative change. We have a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, for all of us to join together in advancing equality for women and girls around the world. In closing, it is my hope that these remarks today may, in some small way, encourage other men to self-identify with the HeForShe movement and to ensure them to stand up and take action in support of gender equality. I would like to leave you with a short clip of extraordinary everyday men who have joined the movement and stood up as a HeForShe. My name is Kiefer Sutherland. I am a HeForShe, and thank you for having me.